Hello, everyone. You're watching 10X, your home for trending sports stories and exclusive updates from across the nation. Doctors told the family the truth no parent ever wants to hear. He had less than a week to live, maybe even less. His small body was shutting down, and his final wish was simple, honest, and deeply emotional. "I just want to meet Coco Gauff one time." His father, a wounded war veteran who had already lost so much, quietly said, "Son, I don't think she'll ever see our message." But just 24 hours later, nurses rushed through the hallways. The hospital went silent. Then, without warning, Coco Gauff walked through the doors. What happened next left millions in tears. This story begins in a quiet hospital in North Carolina, a place where hope fades in and out every day. In one small room was 10-year-old Eli Turner, a boy who loved three things more than anything else: superheroes, sneakers, and Coco Gauff. Eli didn't just admire Coco Gauff, he absolutely loved her. Her posters filled his room, her match highlights played every night before he fell asleep. He watched her win the U.S. Open, cheering through the pain that never left his body. To Eli, Coco wasn't just a tennis star, she was proof that good things could still happen. Proof that strength didn't always mean power. Sometimes it meant kindness and a smile. But Eli was facing something no child should ever face: Stage 4 neuroblastoma, tumors that wouldn't stop spreading, treatments that had stopped working. And then the doctors finally said the words his father had prayed he would never hear: "There's nothing more we can do." Eli's father, Mark Turner, was a former Army sergeant. He had served 2 tours. He had lost friends. He had survived war. But nothing compared to watching his son slowly slip away. Mark had already lost his wife 3 years earlier in a car accident. He had lost his home trying to pay for medical treatments. And now he was losing the last person he had left. One night, Eli held his father's hand. Tubes covered his arms. His voice was weak as he whispered, "Dad, if I could meet Coco Gauff just once, I think I could go happy." Mark swallowed hard. His hands trembled. His voice broke, but he nodded. He knew the odds were almost zero. Coco Gauff was one of the busiest athletes in the world, constantly traveling, training, and competing. They were just an ordinary family in an ordinary hospital with no connections. But fathers still try. At 2 a.m., alone and exhausted in the hospital cafeteria, Mark wrote a message. He didn't send it to reporters. He didn't contact publicists. He didn't even reach out to her team. He simply posted it on social media. No hashtags, no tags, no expectations. "My son is dying. His final wish is to meet Coco Gauff. I know this message will probably never reach her, but if it does, even a short video would mean everything. Thank you for reading. A dad who's trying his best." He pressed post and put his phone away. He wasn't looking for attention. He wasn't asking for pity. He just wanted to see his son smile one more time. When Mark woke up, his phone was filled with thousands of notifications. A nurse ran in and said, "Your story is everywhere. People are sharing it nonstop." In less than 6 hours, the message spread across the country. Athletes, celebrities, tennis fans, and sports pages were all sharing it. Everyone was tagging Coco Gauff. Still, there was no response from her account. Mark assumed she was too busy. He prepared himself to gently tell Eli the truth. But then, everything changed. A hospital administrator rushed into the room and said, "Sir, you need to come with us." Outside, a black SUV pulled up to the entrance. No cameras, no reporters, no announcement. Just one woman wearing a hoodie, a mask, and a backpack. It was Coco Gauff. She had flown overnight, catching sleep on the plane between training sessions, just to be there. She didn't alert the media. She didn't post online. She didn't bring sponsors or photographers. She came alone, only for Eli. When she walked inside, nurses froze, doctors stared, patients whispered, "Is that really Coco Gauff?" She kept her head down, asked for Eli's room, and walked straight toward it. Eli was barely awake, breathing slowly. Mark leaned down and whispered, "Son, someone's here to see you." Eli blinked, then blinked again, and then Coco stepped into the room. The sound Eli made is something no one there will ever forget. A gasp of shock, a laugh of joy, tears falling all at once. He whispered, "Are you real?" Coco dropped her backpack, took his hand, and said, "Hi, buddy. I'm Coco. I came just to see you." The room fell apart. Nurses cried. Doctors wiped their eyes. Mark, a man who had survived war, collapsed into a chair and sobbed. Coco didn't rush. She didn't pose for a photo and leave. She stayed for 4 hours. She sat beside him. She played cards with him. She signed his tennis ball. She showed him videos from tournaments. She FaceTimed him with other players. And when Eli grew tired, she softly whispered a prayer over him. At one point, Eli looked at her and said, "Coco, I wanted to meet you because you make me feel strong." She covered her mouth, tears filling her eyes, and replied, "You make me feel strong." The nurses said they had never seen Eli like that. For the first time in months, his smile was real. For the first time in weeks, he sat up on his own. For the first time in days, his pain seemed to ease. Before leaving, Coco placed something on his blanket. It was her bracelet, one she had worn since winning the US Open. "I want you to have this," she said. "It brought me luck. Now it's yours." Eli held it close to his chest. Mark cried again. Then Coco looked at Mark and quietly said, "Thank you for sharing your son with me." Not the other way around. As she prepared to leave, Eli whispered, "Can I hug you?" She leaned down carefully, hugged him as if he were made of glass, and kissed his forehead. She left the room wiping away tears. Doctors applauded her, nurses hugged her, even security guards stood silently, stunned by her humility. Eli passed away peacefully 3 days later, wearing Coco's bracelet. Mark shared one final message online. "My son died happy because one person who didn't owe us anything gave him everything." Coco Gauff, you are not just a champion in tennis, you are a champion in life. The message spread within minutes. Millions cried. Millions shared it. Millions said the same thing. This world needs more people like Coco Gauff. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a story shaping America and the world. We'll see you in the next update.